Garlic is known for its powerful health benefits, but did you know that its improper combination with other foods can lead to severe health problems? In this video, we will tell you about 10 fatal combinations of garlic with foods that can seriously harm your body. These dangerous combinations can cause cancer, heart attack, hypertension, diabetes, and even liver or kidney failure. From everyday foods you eat every day to unexpected combinations, you'll learn how to avoid hidden threats to your health. Watch the video to the end to find out what mistakes can cost you your life and how to protect yourself from these dangerous combinations. This video will be extremely informative and helpful. So, if you want to become a master of your health, click like, and let's get started. Mistake 10. Garlic and high-fiber foods. This can cause abdominal bloating, intestinal distress, and gastroenteritis. Garlic and fiber are two components that individually can be healthy, but when combined, they can cause serious gastrointestinal problems. High-fiber foods, such as legumes, cabbage, broccoli, and other vegetables, take a long time to digest. Garlic, which activates gastric juice production and fermentation in the intestines, can intensify this process, causing excessive gas and increased pressure in the stomach. This combination can cause abdominal bloating and pain, especially in people with sensitive gastrointestinal tracts or irritable bowel syndrome. Such dishes often include a variety of fresh vegetable salads with garlic, soups with legumes, or cabbage stew where garlic is added to enhance the flavor. In some cuisines of the world, especially Asian and Mediterranean, such combinations are considered the norm. However, when consumed regularly, these foods can have a negative impact on digestion. According to the World Health Organization, about 11% of adults in Europe and the United States suffer from chronic intestinal diseases such as gastritis, gastroenteritis, and irritable bowel syndrome. In these people, the combination of fiber and garlic can significantly worsen symptoms such as diarrhea, flatulence, and intestinal distress. A study conducted by the National Institutes of Health found that 15% of irritable bowel syndrome patients complain of worsening after consuming garlic in combination with fiber-rich foods. Scientists have found that this leads to increased inflammation in the gastrointestinal tract, which increases the risk of gastroenteritis and chronic inflammation of the stomach. An example is the case of John Mitchell from the USA, 43 years old, who suffered from gastroenteritis. He often cooked dishes with garlic and legumes, not realizing that such a combination worsened his condition. As a result of regular consumption of such foods, his condition worsened and he had to seek medical attention. His doctor recommended him to eliminate garlic from his diet in combination with fiber. To avoid these problems, it is important to be careful when combining garlic with fiber-rich foods. For people with sensitive stomachs or chronic intestinal diseases, it is best to avoid regular consumption of this combination or limit it to minimal portions. Mistake 9. Garlic and dairy products. This can cause serious digestive disorders such as dyspepsia, gastritis, and stomach ulcers. Garlic, rich in active ingredients such as allicin, is known for its antimicrobial and antioxidant properties. However, when combined with dairy products such as milk, yogurt, or cheese, it can have negative effects on the gastrointestinal tract. Garlic stimulates the secretion of gastric juice, and dairy products, in turn, create a favorable environment for difficult digestion, especially in people with lactose intolerance or weak digestion. This combination can cause dyspepsia, a digestive disorder accompanied by abdominal bloating, heaviness, and pain. Dishes in which this combination occurs may include garlic and milk-based sauces, creamy soups, or garlic butter used to cook with cheese. Such dishes are common in Mediterranean and Italian cuisine, increasing the risk for people with sensitive digestive systems. According to the World Health Organization, about 30% of adults worldwide suffer from various forms of dyspepsia and other gastrointestinal disorders. These problems can be exacerbated by the wrong combination of foods, such as garlic and dairy products. In Europe and North America, gastritis and peptic ulcer occur in 5 to 10% of the adult population, and in Asia, this figure can be as high as 15%. Of these people, about 20% report a worsening of the condition with regular consumption of garlic in combination with dairy products. According to a study conducted by the National Institutes of Health, 18% of patients suffering from chronic gastritis experienced an increase in symptoms such as pain and heaviness in the stomach after consuming dishes with garlic and dairy products. Scientists have concluded that this combination increases acid secretion in the stomach and makes it harder for the stomach to function, which can lead to the development of more serious problems such as ulcers. An example is the story of Emma Roberts from the UK, age 42. Emma suffered from chronic gastritis, but often cooked dishes with garlic and cream, believing it was good for her health. Over time, she began to experience severe abdominal pain, heartburn, and constant bloating. After going to the doctor, it turned out that she had aggravated gastritis caused by the wrong combination of foods. She had to completely revise her diet and refuse garlic in dairy dishes. To avoid such problems, it is recommended to consume garlic separately from dairy products, especially for people with sensitive stomachs. If you like garlic, it is better to add it to dishes that do not contain dairy ingredients to minimize the risk of digestive disorders. Mistake 8. Garlic and coffee. This can cause gastritis, stomach ulcers, and intestinal ulcers. Garlic and coffee are two foods that have strong effects on the gastrointestinal tract. Garlic is known for its antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties, but when combined with coffee, which contains caffeine and stimulates the production of gastric juice, it can lead to serious problems. Both products increase acidity in the stomach, which causes irritation of the mucous membranes. This is especially dangerous for people with pre-existing conditions such as gastritis or peptic ulcers. The combination of garlic and coffee is found in a variety of dishes and culinary traditions. For example, some breakfast recipes may use garlic in sauces for omelets or toast served with coffee. In Mediterranean and Middle Eastern cuisine, dishes with garlic, such as pasta with garlic sauce or garlic scones, are often accompanied by strong coffee. Also, in some breakfast variations with baked goods such as garlic scones or garlic pies, coffee is the traditional beverage served with these dishes. According to the World Health Organization, more than 700 million people worldwide suffer from chronic stomach diseases such as gastritis and ulcers, representing about 10% of the entire adult population. Of that number, more than 1 million people die each year from complications related to stomach and intestinal ulcers caused by poor diet and high-acid foods, such as coffee. The study, conducted by the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health, found that the combination of garlic and coffee can increase the risk of developing canker sores by 20% in people who consume these products daily. Researchers found that the combination increases the production of gastric juice, which in turn damages the gastric mucosa. An example of a person affected by this combination is George Miller, 45, from the UK. George used to start his morning daily with a cup of strong coffee with garlic added to his breakfasts. Over time, he began to experience severe stomach pains and suffered from heartburn. Eventually, he was diagnosed with a stomach ulcer, and doctors strongly advised him to eliminate the combination of coffee and garlic from his diet. To avoid such consequences, it is recommended to consume garlic and coffee at different times. For example, garlic is better to consume together with foods that neutralize acidity, such as vegetables or cereals. And coffee is better to drink sometime after a meal to reduce the acid load on the stomach. Mistake 7. Garlic and grilled meat. This can cause cancer of the stomach, intestines, and other digestive organs. Grilling meat at high temperatures produces harmful compounds such as heterocyclic amines and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHs, that can contribute to cancer. When garlic, which contains sulfur compounds, is added to this, combined with high temperatures, they can increase the formation of carcinogens. These compounds disrupt the DNA structure of cells and increase the risk of mutations that can lead to cancer. Garlic and grilled meats are often found in popular dishes such as kebabs, steaks, and grilled meat burgers, where garlic is used for marinade or seasoning. The delicious and flavorful result can be dangerous if such a combination is consumed regularly. This is especially true in countries where grilled dishes are traditional, the United States, Brazil, and Argentina, where such dishes are consumed by millions of people. According to the World Health Organization, more than 34% of all gastrointestinal cancers are linked to the consumption of red meat, especially grilled meat. That's thousands of deaths a year that could have been prevented with a change in dietary habits. A study conducted by the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health found that people who regularly consumed meat cooked over an open flame or at high temperatures were 25% more likely to develop stomach and colon cancer. Scientists have found that when combined with garlic, this risk may increase due to the formation of additional carcinogenic compounds from grilling. An example of a person who suffered from this mistake is Jonathan Williams from the U.S., 54 years old. Jonathan loved grilled meat and often used garlic for marinades. However, after several years of daily consumption of such dishes, he was diagnosed with stomach cancer, which was a result of long-term exposure to carcinogenic compounds formed during the cooking process of meat. His doctors confirmed that improper cooking and frequent consumption of garlic and grilled meat played a crucial role in the development of his disease. To avoid such dangerous effects, it is recommended to cook meat at lower temperatures and avoid open flames. You can also use healthier cooking methods, such as braising or baking, and limit the amount of garlic added to meat marinades to minimize the formation of harmful substances. Mistake 6. Garlic and hot spices. These can cause gastritis, ulcers, and inflammatory gastrointestinal diseases. Garlic and hot spices such as chili, cayenne pepper, and black pepper have a strong irritating effect on the gastric mucosa. These foods stimulate increased production of gastric juice, which can damage the gastric mucosa, especially in people with a predisposition to gastritis or ulcers. If you regularly combine garlic with hot spices, it can lead to inflammation of the gastrointestinal tract, increase pain symptoms, and worsen health conditions. Garlic and hot spices are often found in Mexican, Indian, and Thai dishes, such as tacos with spicy salsa, curries, or spicy vegetable stews. These dishes are popular all over the world, especially among lovers of spicy and intense flavors. However, excessive consumption of such dishes can cause serious stomach problems. According to the World Health Organization, about 30% of adults worldwide suffer from gastritis or stomach ulcers. In some countries, such as Mexico and India, the number of people with inflammatory stomach disease has been linked to excessive consumption of spicy foods. A study conducted by the National Institutes of Health found that 40% of people who consumed garlic combined with hot spices on a regular basis had an increased risk of developing gastritis and ulcers. Researchers found that this combination increases the aggressive effects of stomach acid on the mucous membrane, which increases the likelihood of inflammation and damage to stomach tissue. An example of a person affected by this combination is Carlos Mendoza from Mexico, age 38. Carlos worked as a cook in a Mexican restaurant and consumed spicy dishes with garlic on a daily basis. Over time, he began to experience severe stomach pain and constant burning. He was diagnosed with acute gastritis caused by regular consumption of spicy food and garlic. Doctors recommended him to completely eliminate such foods from his diet to avoid the development of ulcers. To avoid this problem, you should limit the use of garlic in combination with spicy spices. It is important to choose milder seasonings and reduce the amount of garlic in spicy dishes, especially for people with a sensitive stomach or predisposition to GI diseases. Mistake 5. Garlic and foods high in salt. This can cause high blood pressure, cardiovascular disease, and heart attack. Garlic, known for its positive health benefits, can become dangerous when combined with foods high in salt. Foods high in salt, such as chips, salted nuts, pickled vegetables, and other snacks, increase the strain on the heart and kidneys, causing fluid retention and increased blood pressure. While garlic can dilate blood vessels and lower blood pressure, its active ingredients combined with salty foods can increase the effects of salt, leading to a significant increase in blood pressure and can trigger cardiovascular disease. This combination is especially dangerous for people with hypertension, as salt and garlic together can cause sudden spikes in blood pressure, leading to heart attacks or strokes. Foods high in salt and garlic are often found in dishes such as garlic pickles, salty appetizers, and meat marinades. These popular combinations may seem harmless, but they can cause serious harm to your health if consumed regularly. According to the World Health Organization, about 1.13 billion people in the world suffer from hypertension, and high levels of salt in the diet are a major risk factor. According to research from the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health, high blood pressure is responsible for 9.4 million deaths each year worldwide, accounting for about 16% of all deaths. The study found that frequently combining salty foods with garlic can accelerate the development of hypertension and worsen cardiovascular health. An example is the case of John Bailey from the U.S., 56 years old. John, being a big fan of salty snacks, often consumed pickles with garlic and other salty foods. He was already predisposed to hypertension, but his condition worsened significantly due to his constant consumption of these foods. One day, his blood pressure spiked and he suffered a heart attack. The doctor said that his eating habits played a key role in this event. To avoid such problems, you should limit the consumption of foods with high salt content and try not to combine them with garlic. If you have hypertension, it is important to control the amount of salt in your diet and choose less salty snacks or pickles. Mistake 4. Garlic and sugar-containing foods. This can cause blood sugar levels to spike and lead to diabetes, hypoglycemia, or even coma. When a person consumes high-sugar foods, e.g., baked goods, sugary drinks, chocolate, and garlic at the same time, the body faces a serious problem. These sudden changes in glucose levels can cause hypoglycemia or hyperglycemia, leading to fatigue, dizziness, impaired consciousness, and in severe cases, coma. People with diabetes who take medications to control blood sugar levels are at higher risk. Garlic and sugar are often found in dishes such as sweet garlic marinades, barbecue sauces, and in some traditional cuisines where garlic is used to flavor sweet dishes. This may seem harmless, but it is in such combinations that lies the danger for people with impaired glucose metabolism. According to the World Health Organization, about 422 million people worldwide have diabetes, and more than 1.6 million people die each year from diabetes-related complications. Combinations such as garlic and sugar can aggravate patients and lead to undesirable consequences. A study conducted by the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health found that 23% of patients with type 2 diabetes who regularly consumed sugary foods with garlic experienced sugar spikes, worsening their overall condition and requiring adjustments in insulin doses. An example of the error is the case of Mark Johnson from the UK, age 55. Mark had type 2 diabetes and often used sweet marinades with garlic to prepare meat dishes. His blood sugar levels fluctuated drastically after each meal, and once it led to a hypoglycemic coma from which he was saved in hospital. To avoid such dangerous situations, people with diabetes or predisposition to this disease should completely exclude the combination of garlic with sugar-containing foods. It is better to give preference to neutral, low-calorie products without sugar, which do not cause glucose spikes. Mistake 3. Garlic and seafood, especially raw. This can cause food poisoning, intoxication, liver and kidney disorders. Raw seafood is found in popular dishes such as sushi, sashimi, marinated shrimp, or oysters. In many cuisines around the world, they are served in combination with garlic to enhance the flavor, without considering that this combination does not provide protection against the bacteria found in these foods. This becomes especially dangerous for people with weakened immune systems or chronic liver and kidney disease. According to the World Health Organization, about 10% of all food poisonings worldwide are related to seafood consumption. In 2019, more than 600 million cases of food poisoning were registered, and about 420,000 people died as a result of food intoxication, with 230,000 deaths related to seafood contamination. A study conducted by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, found that about 20% of people who consumed raw seafood combined with garlic suffered from food poisoning caused by Vibrio bacteria, which persist in seafood even after garlic is added. Scientists emphasize that no amount of garlic can completely destroy the bacteria, which can cause serious digestive problems and intoxication. An example of a person who suffered from this combination is Jacob Smith from the U.S., aged 34. Jacob regularly consumed raw oysters with garlic, believing it would protect him from possible poisoning. One day, after another meal, he experienced severe food poisoning that led to serious liver and kidney problems. The doctor diagnosed him with food intoxication caused by bacteria in raw oysters. To avoid such dangerous consequences, it is necessary to completely refuse to eat raw seafood, especially in combination with garlic. Seafood should be thoroughly cooked by exposing it to high temperatures to kill bacteria and parasites, and do not rely on the antimicrobial properties of garlic as a way to keep yourself safe. Mistake 2. Garlic and alcohol. This can cause liver and kidney damage, increasing the risk of cirrhosis, hepatitis, and kidney failure. This combination is often found in dishes, such as marinades for meat or fish, where garlic and alcohol are used together to enhance the flavor. It is especially common in dishes based on wine or spirits with garlic added. In addition, this combination is found in folk medicine, where it is sometimes recommended to use garlic and alcohol as tinctures to cleanse the body, which is an extremely risky practice. According to the World Health Organization, liver disease is one of the leading causes of death worldwide, with about 1.3 million people dying of cirrhosis every year. Regular alcohol consumption, combined with foods that can stimulate the liver, such as garlic, can accelerate the destruction of liver cells, leading to serious complications. A study conducted by the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health found that 20% of people who consumed garlic in combination with alcohol developed signs of liver inflammation after only a few months of regular use. Researchers also noted that the combination of these foods can significantly increase the risk of kidney failure in people with a predisposition to kidney disease. An example of a person affected by this combination is Mark Wilson from the UK, age 42. Mark regularly consumed alcohol with garlic added, believing it to be good for his health. However, after a few years of this practice, he started experiencing right subcostal pain and urinary problems. After going to the doctor, he was diagnosed with the initial stage of liver cirrhosis and impaired kidney function. To avoid such serious consequences, you should completely eliminate the combination of alcohol and garlic from your diet. Instead of using alcohol in dishes with garlic, it is better to choose milder alternatives such as broths or vegetable marinades. Finally, the most important item on our list. Mistake 1. Garlic and anticoagulants or hypotensive drugs. This combination can cause excessive bleeding and hypotension, critically low blood pressure, which can be life-threatening. Garlic has strong blood-thinning properties due to allicin, which reduces platelet aggregation. While this is helpful in some cases, when taking anticoagulants or hypotensive medications, garlic can increase their effects, leading to a critical decrease in blood clotting and blood pressure. This can result in internal bleeding, hypotension, and in rare cases, even death. The combination of garlic and anticoagulants is especially dangerous for those already taking medications to prevent blood clots or thin the blood, such as warfarin, clopidogrel, or aspirin. According to the World Health Organization, about 1.3 billion people worldwide suffer from high blood pressure, of which about 10% take anticoagulants or hypotensive drugs on a regular basis. About 1 million people die each year from complications related to uncontrolled bleeding and hypotension. According to a study conducted by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 12% of patients who took garlic along with anticoagulants experienced complications including nosebleeds, bruising, and in some cases, internal hemorrhaging. The scientists concluded that garlic in combination with such drugs increases the risk of uncontrolled bleeding and requires special caution when consuming it. A prime example is the case of John Davidson, 65, from the USA. John was taking hypotensive drugs to control his blood pressure, but regularly added garlic to his diet, believing it to be good for his heart. One day, he experienced severe nosebleeds accompanied by dizziness and weakness. After hospitalization, doctors diagnosed him with hypotension and suspected internal bleeding. Subsequently, John had to stop eating garlic to avoid relapses. To avoid such a dangerous mistake, you should consult your doctor if you are taking anticoagulants or hypotensive drugs and plan to consume garlic. Doctors recommend minimizing or completely avoiding garlic while taking these medications to reduce the risk of life-threatening consequences.